everybody, it's Bill Cecil again here with your tip of the day. Hey, today's tip is to create a end of the year seating chart challenge for your students. Every year throughout the year I try to change my seats up in my classroom at least 2 or 3 times, 4 times throughout the year. And every time I do that, I know you're going to get a lot of kids going, I don't want to, or I want to sit by so-and-so, I want to sit by so-and-so. Or if they don't get their way, they're going to roll their eyes or maybe move their seat over like, and I don't want kids to feel insulted. So I always talk about how important it is that you make everybody on the team feel like you can work with them and you make them feel welcome when you have to sit by them. But to create an incentive to do that, I also tell them that if they do this well throughout the year, at the end of the year, I will let them pick their own seating chart. If they do this well throughout the year, I'll let them pick their own seating chart the last week or a couple weeks of school, and that they can create their own seating chart, one chart for those last weeks, couple weeks or week of school, and that will be the reward for doing this throughout the year. You can also do this each month. If it's too long of a year to have them go through the whole year, what you could possibly do is maybe at the end of the month, each month, give them one day where they can sit where they want. Break it up a little bit. What I'm doing this year in my classroom is, with only a few weeks left in the school year, I actually wrote the word seating chart up on the blackboard, and I told them that anytime there's side conversation going on during class when I'm teaching, I'll say, okay, time for all side conversations to stop. And if there are any side conversations, if I hear people whispering or talking, I'll actually walk up and erase one of the letters. For example, like S for seating, and then I'll go E, for seating, and I'll keep going that way. And I tell them, if by the end of a certain time, for example, with 1 week of school left, if all the letters are erased, they don't get to choose their seating chart for the following week, for that last week of school. But if there's even one letter left, I will let them sit where they want that last week of school. Hey, it's a great end of the year incentive. It's making them work really hard to work on their manners, to make sure that they're still working hard for me while I'm teaching, not to interrupt my teacher, or when somebody else is talking, not to be rude to them as well. It's a great incentive. It takes little time to put that up on the board. I simply walk over, erase a letter, and immediately they self-correct themselves. So this is a great incentive to do at the end of the year. Why not let them sit by who they want the last week of school? By the way, that's also a great incentive during that last week of school to have them do the right thing, because if during the last week of school they're being too noisy or they're being disruptive, you can say, we're going to go back to our seating chart that we had before you created your own seating chart. It's a great incentive, again, to get them to do the right thing even that last week of school, so they're still performing at a very high level. Again, like I said, you could do this at the end of a term, maybe for a couple days. At the end of a month, maybe for 1 day. But definitely at the end of the year, have them work towards this throughout the year by treating everyone they sit by well. But again, towards the end of the year, put the word seating chart up on the board and erase letters each time they break one of the rules or they're having side conversations, and they'll work harder not to get those letters erased. Hey, give this a shot. You have nothing to lose. I think your kids will really enjoy it, and you will too. Hey, and remember, best year ever. You have the power to make it happen.